Some countries in Europe and in America. In America, you must be very, very positive. You must always be excited at meeting new people, etc., etc. Everything has got to be high energy. For example, hi, how are you?
Yeah, man.
Oh, fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, great.
It's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you?
Oh,
okay, right. Okay.
In addition to the strictly linguistic elements of language class, there is, of course, the intercultural dimension.
1, 2, 3, go. Hi, how are you?
Very good, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Okay, you've got to be good, or you've got to be very well, thank you, or you've got to be fine, thank you. Are you ready? Okay, I want to get out of the way because there's so much enthusiasm that this can be positively dangerous. Are you ready? 1, 2...
Activities are also chosen for the psychological impact they can have on creating and melding the group.
Now, in a sense, when you're meeting someone, you're actually moving in there with a lot of positive energy. You're, in a sense, selling yourself because, you want to be very nice to the person and you want the person to be very nice to you and you want to remember the person's name and the person's wife's name or husband's name.
In Suggestopedia, no activity ever reaches the end. This is because the teacher will want to build upon a high level of energy and flip whatever's going on into some new activity that can start from where the old activity left off.
I've got a few little inventions here that it might be interesting for you to try to sell to other people. They're not very easy inventions to sell.
Fine.
Yes, okay, it's a very economical invention. Okay, and Sue, this is something which I don't know if you'd be interested in having, but if you're recruiting a lot of people, you could advise them to have these special, what are they called? They're called chewing gum lockets. It's
Oh, yes. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Really.
Students are encouraged to express themselves just as soon as they feel ready. At the beginning, almost no corrections will be made because the important thing is the students are talking. Little by little, as the suggestopedic cycle goes on, the students will receive indirect or invisible corrections, and towards the end of a suggestopedic course, there may be even more blatantly open corrections made. But at this point, no corrections in either grammar or pronunciation.
Yeah, you should definitely promote this product amongst job applicants and things like that. Good.
You have quite a lot of horses around in Scotland, haven't you?
Yes, small.
More convenient for you if you start?
No, it's okay.
Listen, Gray, do you ever have problems waking up?
Oh, every morning.
Every morning? Yeah. And do you also hear then that great sound of an alarm clock, which is a lot of noise?
A lot of activities are done as pair work. This gives students a maximum amount of talking time. It also enables the teacher to float around, assess the level of the students, see what difficulties are arising, and make subtle corrections on a one-to-one basis where students are never embarrassed by the fact that the whole group is listening.
And it is without air in it, so you can lock it.
Keep fresh.
Yes, so your gum stays fresh, and after an hour talking to each other,
use it again.
you can open it and use it again. So.
And where do you get
Good sink and get wet.
You've already got it in the country? Or you've already bought it?
When corrections are made, the teacher will try and be at the same height as the students he or she's correcting. This may be of no importance to some students, but other students who are a little bit shy feel a little bit more reassured if the teacher's at exactly the same level as they are.
Well, they're not. You just told me. When do you have the spectacles? Oh, yes.
When? Now I thought that around about this time of morning, people might be getting a little bit hungry. And are you getting hungry? Good, because I brought some cake for you. I brought some cake for you. Okay, and I thought that it might be nice to distribute some of these cakes. Would anybody be interested in cake?
Yes.
Okay, here you are, Thornton. Okay, here. Would you be?
The suggestopedic teacher
You want one with candles too?
tries as much as possible to remain inside the fantasy as opposed to being a director of activities that other people do. For this reason, once the cakes have been given out, the Suggestopedic teacher gives out matches, not so that the students can go ahead and play the game, but because it's nice to have a match once you have candles to light on a cake.
Okay. Now, of course, if you've got cakes, it might be nice to have matches in order to light the candles. Here you are. Here you are. Yeah. Well, I've not only got matches and cakes, I've also got sticks of dynamite, which are always very useful things. They're also very, very useful things to have in life. Here you are. Here, would you like one too? Have a stick of dynamite. Oh, I do. Okay. Would you like to come down to the ground just for a second? Would you like to line up these words, probably, in fact, horizontally. So, horizontally, in other words, from left to right. Okay? So that you've got a question.
Since the value of the Suggestopedic environment depends on the extent to which the students are in control of and possess this environment, quite early on in any Suggestopedic course, some activity will be proposed where the students are invited to kneel down and do something on the ground. It's a way of overcoming one of the social inhibitions that could slow learning down.
Now, let's have a look at these. Now, you may have to conjugate the verb. We'll see about that in a minute or two. Ronalie, could you read us your sentence?
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah. Did you see what she almost did? Look at this. Did you see that? I know that oboe players have a terrible reputation for loving danger. But this... Do you realize what you could do to everybody? Okay, yes. It's always much more intelligent in life to light candles on birthday cakes than to light sticks of dynamite. Okay, why?
Why did we wake up?
Good, why did we wake up? Look, another dangerous woman. I don't know what has happened here, but somebody else who seems more interested in lighting dynamite than lighting a birthday cake. I think, in fact, here, Sandy, change places with me because I do not want to be sitting here, in fact.
But I see the same thing over there.
Oh, my God.
So you're in a hot place?
I seem to be in the middle of a group of terrorists here.
This grammar game, whose aim is to gain practice with the interrogative or question form, gives symbols to the different parts of grammar. In this way, it juxtaposes emotional meaning on logical structure. If, for example, the student should put the interrogative word next to the subject, for example, why you are tired instead of why are you tired, then that student puts the match next to the dynamite, which anyone will agree is a very, very unwise thing to do. This is where double plainness comes into Suggestopedia. Students are given subconscious messages which help them achieve their consciously pursued goal.
You want to begin with your verb. That's very, very daring, very adventurous. What are we going to do after that? What do you think the best thing to begin with is?
There are three barriers that students might have to overcome in any learning situation. The first is the logical barrier, the second is the emotional barrier, and the third is the moral barrier. One of the teacher's main preoccupations is never ever to put a student in a situation which is illogical, emotionally threatening, or in any way morally unacceptable.
She?
Writing.
Writing, okay, fantastic. And now, what we seem to have is the same order in all of the sentences: matches, birthday cakes, dynamite, and verbs. But if you talk to traditional teachers, they may not know much about matches and dynamite and birthday cakes. The matches are the interrogative words, the cakes are the auxiliaries, the dynamite is the subject, and the verbs are the verbs. Okay?